year to make sure that they had the goods with Russell Wilson.
I don't think they could have. I think that this was part of the deal when they traded. Well, I think this was part of the conversation when they traded for Russell Wilson. We knew whoever traded for Russell Wilson was going to try to lock him up for the long run. But I also think that this is part of your negotiation process with your quarterback saying, hey, we believe in you. We believe in you for the future. At this point, what's the point of waiting, frankly? Like, Russell Wilson's camp, Carlin, is not going to let them wait. Wilson's camp wants
what's
this
he going to do, Amber?
Now.
Not show up? I mean, he just showed up. He has been a great spokesman out front for the Broncos already. And if they say, listen, let's talk at the end of this year, what are they going to do? Are they going to walk?
But no, he probably wouldn't walk, but maybe he says, I don't know, maybe my future isn't in Denver the long term. Or, and by the way, that would be devastating because you gave up so many draft picks for me and players. Or he could say, price just went up. And I think that's really the concern here is let's go ahead and lock him in right now if he's willing to agree to guaranteed money that looks a lot like Kyler Murray's than it does Deshaun Watson's, instead of waiting for more contract extensions like the Joe Burrows and the Justin Herberts of the world. The salary cap keeps coming up. Keeps going up. We keep waiting to see where this quarterback market is going to go. And I think if you're the Denver Broncos, you don't take any chances. You just go ahead, lock it in, get it done at this price point today, because so far waiting, and you can see it with the Ravens, hasn't been a good strategy on these teams' parts.
But there's so much of a difference between what's going on with the Ravens and what's going on with the Broncos. I get that we have Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady playing into their 40s. Not everybody can do this. Russell Wilson has said he wants to play until he's 45. That's great. You might be able to do that, Russell. But when we know what the style has always been, which is a lot of running, nobody's ever been better at not taking hits than Russell Wilson. I think it's a mistake for the Broncos to put all of those resources into Wilson immediately when they just could have waited a little bit more time. Now, that aside, considering his age, that aside, the effect that this now has on the league and with the contracts that are coming up, with what the Ravens are doing with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert next year. Amber, this is fascinating to me because this is still going to be a standoff. If I'm Lamar Jackson, nothing has changed between yesterday.
No, don't go away and stuff. He's a good kid. He's a good guy. It's good stuff, man. Welcome in. It's a Throwback Thursday in the Doghouse. One day a year. I get to play that one time a year. Sometimes I just sit in here by myself and do that with my headphones on. Throwback Thursday means Throwback TV theme music, which also makes this one of my favorite days of the year. Today is also the debut of this season's Beat the Big Dog. We got an element for that, don't we? I think we have something for that Beat the Big Dog. You know, oh, God, I forgot about that. We got something for that. Dang. It's back. It's all good, man. It's September. We're entering a 5-month season of glory. September, October, November, December, January. 5 months. 5 months of absolute glory from now to the Super Bowl, which is like in the middle of February. 5.5 months. I'm so stoked. It's fantastic. Anyway, we roll out this season's Beat the Big Dog. Now, refresher for those of you who've been following the show for years, and for those of you that are newbies, hey, welcome to the show. Glad that you are in. Woo! If you are new to the show, it's great to have you. What's Beat the Big Dog? Well, I'll tell you what Beat the Big Dog is. One listener, and one listener only today, one listener, will go head-to-head with me on 6 games. You can be a viewer at WZZN TV. You can be somebody that's not listening to the show on the radio or on a stream, but maybe watching on WZZN TV. You're going to get your opportunity. We'll call out a number of a listener to play. And you pick 6 games against the spread against me. Me, you, mano a mano, 6 games. And I'm going to afford you the opinion of Grizz the Magnificent, for whatever that's worth. He, like you, does not know the games. You know who knows the games? Me. I know the games because I pick the games. That's the only advantage that I have is I pick the, but I haven't researched them in terms of I pick the games. But we'll run them down. That's coming up at the top of the 11 today. Brought to you by BetUS.com. Use the promo code WZZN when you go to BetUS.com to sign up and get that $200 sign-up bonus. WZZN.com. No, WZZN. Your promo code, WZZN. You know what? I think, and I may be making this up, but I think you could just go to 977ESPN.com, and there's a link to it there somewhere. You should click on it. Boom. It should take you there. At least it should. I don't know. We'll find out. Don't ask me. It's not my client. It's Grizz's client. It's Grizz's client. I'm just a mouthpiece for the damn thing. It's Grizz's client. All right, so we are going to get to that at the top of the 11. The deal is, if whatever listener beats me, if a listener beats me, to get a great prize. I mean, typically it's like bowl game tickets, or it's tickets to Daga, something like that. You get a great prize. We'll see whatever we have. And if you beat me, you retain the right to play again later in the year. If you beat me, you retain your challenge. But when I beat you, which happens more often than not, you're done for the year. Done. You get one shot to lose. You can retain your challenge, your red flag, if you beat me. Plus, I keep a running total of my picks and of you, the listeners' picks, combined to see if you guys as an entity can beat me for the entirety of the season. The steal runs right through the Super Bowl. I mean, you guys have won this a couple of times over the years. I think you've won it maybe 2 or 3 times, and I've been doing Beat the Big Dog for, I don't know. Honcho, how long have I been doing Beat the Big Dog for? He's been around for a minute. I've been doing Beat the Big Dog probably at least in 3, 4 markets. I don't know. I'm guessing 15 years. I'm going to say around 15 years of that deal. All right, if you know what you want to talk about, phone lines are open, 256-576-4977. You can text the show, 732-9TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. That is a great way to communicate with us. My personal Twitter feed is at Thom Abraham Show. The station's feed is at 97.7 ESPN. We are on Twitter and Facebook, where you can watch the show at 97.7 ESPN, and on Twitch and YouTube, WZZN TV. Follow on the Twitch, like and subscribe on the YouTube, and get notifications. Go to 977ESPN.com and get links to all of that stuff, and get the apps. 2 apps. 2 apps. 5 feeds, 2 apps. You get the Zone app and you get the Blitz app, our streaming radio station as well. When you get the Zone app, you get links to Zone 2, Zone 3, and Zone 4. And when you get the Blitz app, you'll get links to everything that's Blitz, including the recruiting Blitz. You get ESPN radio when we're on local on the Zone. You're getting ESPN radio on the Blitz. When we have ESPN radio or Paul Finnebaum on the Zone, you got a local show with the Afternoon Blitz with Captain Cool and the Bandyman and Smoky Mike Honcho. You get all your Army football coverage, Army football every Saturday there. Crawdads Countdown to Kickoff last night debuted there. Countdown to Kickoff will be the Army Countdown, Crawdads Countdown to Kickoff will be always on the Blitz and sometimes on the Zone as well, when we don't have Braves baseball conflicts. Like next month, I don't think we might have one Braves Wednesday night. I think the Braves are playing Wednesday afternoons next month, all month. But you'll hear those games someplace else. You won't hear them on 97.7. They'll be on one of our streams. Coming up on Friday night, region play gets underway. Buckhorn at Gadsden City on the air and on our primary stream. I'm on a call for that one. Madison Academy is at Pennington in Blountesville on Zone 2. Steve Moulton on that one. Randolph has JP2 at home, Zone 3. Austin Coletti on that one. North Alabama High School Scoreboard Show begins on the Blitz at 8:30 with Scott Tyson. And that'll be on air and all streams after all the games wrap up. We get you covered all over the place. Coming up in a few minutes, Buckhorn Bucks head coach Matt Patterson will join us, courtesy of hometown lenders of Hazel Green and Logan Hoffman. Boys took one on the chin last week in a non-conference game, in a non-region game. I mean, Helena's pretty good. Top 10, 6A team in the state. They're pretty good. But now region play begins. For many of these kids, it'll be their first time on a charter bus as they make the 2.5-hour trip down to Gaston City. Maybe 2 hours. Maybe an hour and a half. Look, make no bones about it. Gaston City's been rocked in their first 2 games. Rocked in their first 2 games. But they played some pretty good people. Gadsden City played Carrollton out of Georgia, maybe the best team in the state of Georgia. Carrollton hung a 69 burger on them. Then they played Hewitt Trustville. You know about Hewitt Trustville. They dropped 64 on them. But now region play starts. Buckhorn's region is Buckhorn, Fort Payne, Hazel Green, May Jemison, Lee Huntsville, and Gadsden City. That is 6A Region 8. I think they got an excellent shot. I think Buckhorn has everything right there in front of them to be a playoff team. Speaking of Buckhorn, how about Kyle Wright getting win number 17 last night? The first in Major League Baseball to get there. He's now 17-5 with a 2.85 ERA after pitching 7 scoreless innings last night for the Braves. I mean, dude has been dialing. He's flat dialing. I mean, he right now is one of the best pitchers in baseball. At the top of the 11, this week's episode of Beat the Big Dog, and then Steve Merrill from Pro Sports Info is back. We'll talk about the games coming up tonight and this weekend. All right, I got something I want to get to that I never talk about, but I want to get these calls in, and I want to get Grizz in, because he's over there in that little glass room with the slanted ceiling and stoked for September.
Who in the blue hell are you? What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. That Tom? Hey, Tom?
Testosterone high today. Testosterone, whatever the f*** it is.
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
Any of you play sports?
Grizzlicious, what game are you most interested in tonight watching college football? This West Virginia Pitt game, all right, is on. That's not the Backyard Brawl, is it? Is it that? Yeah, it's a Backyard Brawl. Backyard Brawl is on the ESPN. Pitt is 7.5-point favorite in that game. Purdue is hosting Penn State, and the Nittany Lions go in as a 3.5-point favorite on that one. What game are you most interested in that game? And then, of course, you got the Alabama A&M in Protective Stadium taking on UAB, where it's going to be a tough matchup for them.
I think I'm going to enjoy this West Virginia Pittsburgh game. I like the
Really?
Backyard Brawl. I want to see what I want to see what Pittsburgh has after basically getting basically just changing out some guys. No quarterback, no wide receiver. You just kind of hope.
Well, they'll have one.
Well, I mean, I get that. I'm talking about no Kenny Pickett,
Right.
no Jordan Addison. So, I kind of wonder what Pittsburgh's going to be like this year. And West Virginia, you never know. So I like watching West Virginia games. I wish it was at West
Really?
Virginia. Yeah, I do. I honestly wish I would love to go to West Virginia for a game. Like, I think that's one of the I think that's one of those when you talk about pre-games and everything, like a festivity and everything that goes on before. I think it's a lot of fun, and I think I've heard so much good things about it. So yeah, I think I'll be pulling for that one a little bit more than the other ones. I think Penn State might roll over Purdue and
really,
yeah.
See, I think that Purdue is bringing back everybody. I think that's a bad look. You know, I'm pulling for Penn State because I'm a James Franklin guy.
Yeah,
but I think I tell you what, I think Purdue might outright win that football game. I think that is that Purdue -3. I'm getting 3.5 with Purdue on a Thursday night, and they've got everybody back. You know, basically from a pretty decent team last year. That one is a little bit surprising to me. All right, let me get these guys in here. In order of the longest wait, Grumpy is up. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. I just want to get y'all's opinion on two spreads. Number one, Mississippi State and Memphis is 16 and a half right now.
That's a lot of points, man.
That's a
lot of wood there. I can't trust Mississippi State.
Yeah, I think that's the candy this week. I think that one game is the candy, man.
All right, I'm going to ask. I'll ask Merrill about that one too. But man, that seems like off. I can't see Mississippi State favored by that many against anybody, and I just don't trust them.
And they hate Memphis. Memphis and Mississippi State have got, they play every year and they hate each other.
No, you're thinking of Memphis and Ole Miss. Memphis and Mississippi State don't play every year. Memphis and Ole Miss.
They play a lot.
Do they?
I know what I'm talking about. They play a lot. But yeah. But hey, also the other one is, it looks like App State is favored over North Carolina.
Brandon said this the other day. He called in and he's like, "Oh, I'm all over App State. They're 1 point favorite." What? First of all, North Carolina going to App State. They're playing in 30,000 seat stadium over there at Appy State. I am so flummoxed by that line. I don't know what's going on. I thought North Carolina was supposed to be fairly decent. I know that I don't understand it.
Yeah, their defense looked bad. North Carolina's defense looked bad. But see, North Carolina, you coached. I never coached, but you coached. You know how it is. If you've got a game under your belt, you've got an advantage over a team that hadn't played a game yet. You've got a little bit of experience. And App State, this is their first game of the year. North Carolina's already played a game.
Plus, just how embarrassing is that for North Carolina to be a 1 point dog? Or I guess it's a pick 'em. It's been flopping around 1 point either way, but it's App State. I mean, we're talking Conference USA here. I mean, really?
And you can get this: Georgia State has a really tough team this year, and North Carolina gets them next week. There's a way that North Carolina may not be favored next week against Georgia State if they're not favored against App State.
Well, South Carolina is only a 12-point favorite over Georgia State, which is kind of interesting to see that.
State's got, from everything I've read, they got to get. I don't want to take up your time, man. Those are two interesting lines I'd look at. Thank you.
Yeah, I was definitely had on my list to ask Steve Merrill about that App State North Carolina game.
And Ole Miss is a 21.5-point favorite over Troy.
That I can get.
Come on. You got to give Coach Sumrall a little bit more credit than that. Come on now.
Where is that game?
At Ole Miss.
Yeah, they'll blow them out. So other than last year, the last time Mississippi State played Memphis was 2011, 2010, and 2003. Yeah, they don't play very much. I think he's thinking about Ole Miss and Memphis. Ole Miss and Memphis have a good little thing going on. Oxford and Memphis, that's not too far apart from each other. Richard is up next. Do I know Richard? Is Richard a first-timer? Richard, welcome to the show. How are you?
Doing pretty good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Is this the first time you called the show or what?
Yes, it is. I do listen, and I was listening before you started taking calls, and you was talking about challenge you and the
Beat the Big Dog
and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do I? Is there a link that I can challenge you, or how?
What happens is right before the top of the 11. I'll let you come back in again if you get in on it. Usually we don't let guys come back in on a second time. But what happens is that I'll say caller number 4, something like that, and then we'll go to a break. And when we come back, if whoever got in is the contestant. So that's all. The only way to get in is that. And then tomorrow we do the Friday trifecta. And in that, everybody gets to call and make their picks on the Friday trifecta. There'll be 3 games and then a bonus game, and everybody gets in on that. And we got prizes for that, Champy's Chicken, and then we got prizes for a week-long handicapper and all that kind of stuff. Richard, where are you calling from? Are you right in Huntsville, Madison, Athens? Where are you?
Yes, I'm from Huntsville, Alabama.
All right. Are you roll with the Tide, War Eagle, Go Vols? What are you?
I'm an all-around football fan. I'm originally from Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
I'm a Sooner fan, and I've been in Alabama for 40 years, but I cheer for all football. If Oklahoma is playing Rice, I'm going to watch the game. If Alabama's playing Rice, I'm going to watch that game. I just watch all football. I have a huge projection screen up in my game room. It's 100-inch. I got the main football. I got the main football game on that channel, and then I have 6 42-inch TVs, and I have every game that all the other games. But I always watch the main game, the best game, and then I watch all the other games as well. So I watch from 10 o'clock in the morning till late in the evening. So that's Saturday what I do. But
we had a guy that listened to the show for years. I think he's actually moved back to Oklahoma, possibly. I don't know. Sooner Joe is a big time Oklahoma fan, and he's lived here for years and years and years as well. So you may have to just be Sooner Rich, so we know who you are when you call instead of just being just a Richard. We don't know Richard, but when you say it's Sooner Rich, then we know who you are.
All right, I'll do that.
All right.
But I actually go by Rick. I always say Richard.
Sooner Rick. Okay, there you go. That's even better.
Sooner Rick. I like Sooner Rick. That's what I'll do. So I did want to ask or tell. I do host a football league. It's officefootball.com.
Yeah.
Have you aware of it? I'm sure.
No. Officefootball.com.
I think it's officefootballpool.com.
Okay.
But I have about 65 guys in my pool, and it's a confidence pool. It's straight up. It's not against a point spread or anything like that. It's just 15 college games every week, and you rank them from 15 points down to 1 point. So if Alabama's playing Rice, you're going to pick Alabama for 15 points, obviously.
Sure.
And then you just rank them all the way down. I didn't know if you would be interested or if I could send a link or anybody. There is a fee to play. There's multiple different payouts. I can't tell that over the radio, but I'd like to see if you'd be interested, if I could send you a link or anything like that.
Well, send me the link, Thom at ThomAbraham.com. It's THOM, THOM at THOMAbraham.com. Send me the link. I'll look at it. I'm at the site right now, officefootballpool.com. And it looks interesting. I mean, I'm so jammed with so many things that I'm doing. I don't know if I can do this, but I think it's pretty cool. And I'll put the link out there for it. It's officefootballpool.com. I never had heard of it before.
Yeah, it's out of Colorado, and I've been doing it for about 20 years, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I've got about, like I said, right now I've got 63 guys in my league, and usually I have around 50 to 60 every year, but it's pretty fun. There is another pool that it's the same website. I'm in with another guy, but it's not straight up. It's against the point spread, so it's very hard. And he's got 20 teams in there, so it's pretty hard to do those when it's against the point spread. Trying to rank them from 20 points all the way to.
Can you pick it? Can you pick the same team week in and week out, or is it like once you use a team in your confidence pool, is it once you use them, they're done? Like if somebody wanted to pick Alabama every week with the 15 points, they can do that?
No, because I'm not going to put Alabama, like this week I do not have Alabama in my pool.
So it's a certain list of games. Okay, so it's not any game.
That's right.
You got to pick it. You got to rank them in there. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Send me the link. I might do that. Yeah.
As the host, I pick those teams that are going to be for the points that week, and they're the same thing with the other guy. He picks which teams are going to be in the pool for that week. But yeah, ThomAbraham.com. You said
Thom at ThomAbraham.com.
Thom at
ThomAbraham.com. Thom at ThomAbraham.com. Makes it easy.
Okay, yeah, I'll shoot you the link later, and I appreciate very much talking on your show.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Don't be a stranger. Sooner Rick there getting in. Maybe he'll get back for Beat the Big Dog. Grizz, have you ever heard of this, officepool.com?
No, that was new to me. I went straight to
cool.
I went straight to the website and sent it to you. Yeah, no, it looks pretty cool. He's got a lot of list of games: football, golf, basketball, baseball, soccer, NASCAR, hockey, and MMA.
Yeah, I don't think it's his website. I think he's just
the website he uses. I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought it was
group.
The way he said it. It was just like I made it.
Yeah, I thought it was his, but then and it's weird because I clicked on football and it has football pick'em, football survivor, football share, fantasy one and done squares, proposition pool. So I didn't even see anything. About
I like pick squares. Ooh, I always like score squares. I'm always a big the square guy. When they do it at the local. There's a couple local bars that do that.
That's shooting fish in a barrel. You don't know what the hell is going to happen.
I understand that, but man, if you can pick 0 and 7 or whatever, and then the game ends like that in 2 quarters or whatever, man, you could rack up a couple $100. So
yeah. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back and coming up next, Matt Patterson joins us. Talk to the high school football coach at the Buckhorn Bucks about their game coming up this week on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Waiting was such a mistake. That's one of the things we hear most after we've successfully treated one of our patients for erectile dysfunction. At the Huntsville Men's Clinic, we want you to know first and foremost that waiting is a mistake, because the longer you wait, the more difficult it can be to treat your ED. Using what you've got is important, not just for your relationship, but for your overall health. There's some truth to the phrase, if you don't use it, you lose it. At the Huntsville Men's Clinic, we'll fight for your ability to consistently perform without the anxiety that so many men experience. In fact, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. We only treat ED and low T at the Huntsville Men's Clinic, and we've successfully treated many men with protocols that are effective in nearly 90% of cases. We also have the full complement of treatments, including acoustic wave therapy, so you get the one that works best for you. So don't wait. Make an appointment. For just $99, you'll get a medical consultation, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose. Call today, 256-368-0333. That's 256-368-0333, or go to HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com.
All right, where are we going for breakfast?
I kind of want a breakfast quesadilla.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing quesadillas for breakfast these days.
Well, Taco Bell is.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, they have this Bell breakfast box now that comes with this breakfast quesadilla that's super cheesy and a hash brown.
Okay, wish I knew about this earlier.
And it has Cinnabon Delights and a coffee in it.
Why did I not know about this earlier?
Try the new $5 Bell breakfast box, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations during breakfast hours only, 7 to 11 a.m. for a limited time. Contact local store for prices and participation may vary. Tax extra. Drinks exclude freezes.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN. What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto. When you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get great savings and round-the-clock protection, which is as beautiful as looking your firstborn child in the eyes for the first time. Well, that's a bit much. Maybe it's more like looking your second-born child in the eyes for like the third or fourth time. Point being, the savings and round-the-clock protection are really, really magical.
Forced Metaphors. Presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. A beautiful Thursday afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Plenty of sunshine, little in the way of any cloud cover, and we're definitely not talking about any rain for your Thursday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s, dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Thom Abraham Show. This segment of the show is brought to you by Logan Hoffman and the hometown lenders of Hazel Green, who bring you Coach Matt Patterson of the Buckhorn Bucks every week, and Coach is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, welcome back. How are you, man?
Hey, Tom. Doing pretty well this morning. How about yourself?
I am fantastic. Tough one last week against Helena. We'll look forward more than back, but we got to go back and just talk about that. I mean, they had a couple of real studs out there, and they were very physical up front. It seemed like you hung with them for a while, but, man, it just seemed like that big running back was just a little bit too much, and ultimately it kind of got away from you there.
Oh, yeah, man. They are a fantastic football team. I think I made the comment earlier in the week in the staff meeting. I said, I don't know how in the world this team's not ranked in the 6A top 10. Mm-hmm. And coincidentally, on Tuesday, they're ranked number 10 in 6A this week. So, they're a real good football team. And, we scheduled them that way for a reason. It was a test to see where we were and prepare our kids for what they're going to see in playoff football. You got sometimes come out there and take on some teams that are better than you and find out a little bit about your team, and that way you can learn and grow. I mean, if you're playing teams that you're going to beat every Friday night, sometimes you don't find out what your weaknesses are and not able to build your football team as you go through the season.
Well, and you said you were going to test your team. It was going to be a good test for what you guys had, and so I would imagine there's positive and negatives to that. People look at the score and they think, well, there's nothing positive about that. Well, in the first quarter, I mean, you drove the ball right down the field. You drove it right down the field in the second drive as well. You were up 10-7, so you were hanging with them. So I would think that to a certain extent, the kids understand, okay, we have the ability to do this. Now, how do we do it for 48?
Oh, yeah. We came out right out of the gate, Tom. We got some good field position, went down the field and scored, I think, in 6 plays. Then they went down and scored, made it 7-7, and we came back and drove it down and missed a touchdown shot in the end zone. A little overthrown a pass there we had for a touchdown, and we came back, settled for a field goal. I think Van Reed nailed about a 35, 36-yarder. And then it just kind of, it's kind of felt like I told the kids at halftime or after the game, I said, man, we punched them in the face, and then, they regrouped and they came back, and then they decided, hey, we're here to play. So, I think we stung them and woke them up a little bit, but when they settled into their groove, offensively and defensively, they're really, really solid. I think they had a D lineman that had 12 tackles, which is pretty impressive for a defensive lineman. Not so much for us, but I thought that was impressive on their end. They had 2 running backs that were outstanding. The Jordan Washington kids is as advertised, but I think I was more impressed with the number 23, the 10th grade running back, at how fast he was. And to me, he seemed like he was full speed on his first, maybe second step. And, that's a great combination for them two. And it's almost like thunder and lightning a little bit. But, we were in position to make plays, Tom. We were there. That was encouraging. I looked at the film and, we didn't finish. Yeah. And that's the thing we focused on this week was we got to finish. When we get there, we got to get the job done. We can go out and do tackling drills all you want to, but I told the kids, Sunday and Monday. I said, you got to have that little bit extra about you that goes there and gets the job done, whether it's to finish a run, make a big catch across the middle knowing you're about to get hit, to tackle a guy when you got him bottled up. Just little – we had him one time in a screen right there in the early third quarter, and we knew it was coming, and we had 3 guys surround him and let him out. Then the same thing on a punt return later in the quarter. We surround him, but we're all looking around like who's going to make the play.
Right.
And you got to come out. You got to be the guy. We need to. These guys need to realize that, hey, I need to go be Batman. I don't need to go be Robin.
Yeah.
I need to be the guy to go make the play and be the hero, so to speak. So,
yeah.
But like I say, it was a great test. Coach Buzz and him do a great job. But that's kind of where we got to get, and we got to see where we're at, and we got to regroup, and we got to take the constructive criticism, and we got to move on because we got a big one this week.
It's funny because I always say that, it sounds terrible to say it, but the game is a game of negatives. It's managing the negatives. And you did, you talk about some of those, you had them beat deep on a play that you don't connect on down the sideline. You had a couple of times on critical downs. You did have a guy open across the middle and couldn't make the connection. You make that play here, that play there, and then all of a sudden it has a different complexion. You're right about the screen. The screen defensively, you got it sniffed out. You did the right thing. You didn't take the penalty that would have backed it up to 2nd and 25. You make it whatever it was, 3rd and 18 or whatever that play was. And you got it sniffed out. You put the guys right there, and now you got to finish. You got to make the play. So you can always seem to find 3 or 4 or 5 negative plays that say, if we just can execute that, it's a different ballgame.
Oh, it definitely changes the color of the picture. It changes everything. And we had a couple. Like I said, we had a couple of deep ball connections. We had some things we had dialed up, things we had scripted, and from our scouting reports and. We didn't make the plays, but we learn from those. So like we're going to grow from it. I don't think when you lose a ball game, I don't think you sit there and dwell and say, "Oh, poor pitiful me, we got beat," and pat everybody on the back. I mean, you got to learn from it, and you got to pick up your pieces and move on. And you got to build on the good, and you got to correct the mistakes. And it's a long season. I mean, it's game 2. There's a lot of teams in the state are 1-1. There's a lot of teams in the state are 0-2. And by the end of the year, can have really good records, and everything that we want to accomplish as a team is still in front of us.
Well, the bigger thing is that you like everybody else are 0-0 when it comes to region play. So region play gets started with this trip down to Gadsden City. I would imagine that there's some excitement there on the part of the team and the program. Just talk about making that. It's a little longer trip than you normally make. Just talk about how you are getting these guys prepared. They're going to first time they're going to play this season on the synthetic turf. Just talk about your preparation this week.
Well, I thought we've had a good week this week. We've been very receptive to coaching, getting things ready to roll. We're going to practice this afternoon from 2 to 3 during our 4th block athletics period, and then we're going to pack our bags, make sure we got everything we need to go, because it's our first trip. Somebody's usually going to forget something, so we're going to make sure we got everything that we need to do so we don't have any hiccups. We're going to leave at 2:30 tomorrow. We're going to travel in charter buses. We're going to stop and we're going to eat at a Cracker Barrel in Gunnersville about 3:30. Keep us on our same eating routines, and from 3:30 to 4, and then we're at 4. We're going to park for Gadsden, so we should arrive about 5 o'clock. About have an hour to kind of stretch your legs, get loose a little bit, and then warm up to 6. So it's really good too. Last week to me was a playoff type deal with Helena coming in, and I think this week, going to Gadsden and having to travel and eat in a restaurant, that's a playoff type trip as well. And this coincidentally, it's our first region game against a Gadsden team that hasn't had a whole lot of success early on, but these guys have played the best of the best, man. Carrollton's as good as probably one of the better teams in Georgia, maybe even in the nation. And then, Hewitt-Russell's a team that Gadsden's been in the region with, in 7A Region 3 in Birmingham with Hoover and Thompson, Spain Park. When we roll into Gadsden, I don't think we're really going to scare them because, they've played the best of the best for the last 2 or 3 years. And they're going to be very confident, and they're going to expect to beat us Friday night.
Yeah. How do you keep the kids? I mean, the kids, everybody knows. They look at the scores. They know what happened to them. They know they've given up a ton of points in these first 2 games. Carrollton might be the best team in the state of Georgia. And then Hewitt-Trussville as well is always tough. But, it's hard to avoid, to see the numbers that they have given up. How do you keep the kids not looking at that and looking at the task at hand, knowing that they've got to take care of their own job?
Well, we got to take care of us. I mean, if we don't take care of our mistakes and our flaws and things, then it's not going to matter. You got to take care of you, and we got to go out there and control the game and do what we want to do. We got to execute, block and tackle. It's the same fundamentals as always been. But we've told them all week long. I said, these guys right here are good football players. They're good athletes. They have an identity. They're really good in special teams. They've been struggling a little bit. Their quarterback's been out. I would expect to see him Friday night with Region play on the line. So he played a little bit last week. I don't think he attempted a pass. I think he's had some shoulder issues, but I think he makes them go. I mean, he was a big catalyst for them last year offensively in some of the stuff they did. So, we need to be expected for anything. I mean, they might come out and run a wildcat set. They might come 2 tight ends. They might come weak T. They got nothing to lose at this point too. So their season starts Friday night, just like ours does.
You're really young. You kind of shifted some guys around. You've got an injury on your defensive line, so you kind of shifted some guys around, and you'll open a game sophomore, freshman on that front line. I mean, that'd be a hell of a JV team right there, but these guys got to be ready to go varsity football. But it is great reps, but you want to, obviously you're here to win on Friday night. But man, they're going to grow up in a hurry, I would imagine, tomorrow night.
Oh yeah. We got to grow up every week and every day. And these guys are out there because they've done some things in practice that have impressed us. They've played well in some games. Like I tell the kids all the time, you got to have your phone on. You can't have it on silent. When that phone rings, you better answer because when you get an opportunity to get in the game and play, if you miss the call, you might not get it again. And that's come the same with line for the job, man. Somebody's going to call you when they offer you a job. If you don't answer the phone, they might call someone else. So we got to be ready to answer the call when the phone rings and go out there and play high-level football and, do their job. And that's the thing. Like, we're going to play kids that we feel confident in, and we got some guys that are going to come in and still rotate them, and we're still going to play 6, 7 guys on the defensive line. We're going to play 6, 7 guys on the offensive line in different areas. So, everything's going to work out, and we'll, like I said last week, and each and every week we're going to get better somewhere.
Finally, we mentioned the first road trip for some of these young guys, that first time that they're going on this kind of a trip for sure, going to somebody else's building and all of those things. Do you spend time a little bit coaching that up as well, so that they're not too starry-eyed, so that they're kind of ready to go on something like this? You got to kind of cover all these little details that maybe you don't even think of that, that for a 15 or 16-year-old kid is a first-time experience.
Well, I've been to Gadsden City several times as a coach, so I've been able to go back on my experiences traveling over there, and I know what we're going to dress. I know the layout. I know what it's going to be like. I know everything that we're going to do, so I can kind of explain to them, hey, this is where we're dressing. This is where your restrooms are going to be. This is where you're going to warm up. Told our coaches yesterday in the staff meeting, this is where you got to go and park your cars to get all our stuff on the field. It's just one of those things that when you get familiar with it through your career, you can use that to your advantage. And, our kids know what to expect when we travel. This will be the furthest trip we've ever taken since I've been here. And I think the kids are kind of excited about that. Well, like I said, I don't know how many kids on our team has ever ridden in a charter bus through this program. So that's kind of unique. And, we in the playoffs and we'll travel in charters again just to be comfortable and do things right. So everything's learning experiences because at some point, down the road, we're going to be in the same situations again. And I think it's good that you experience it early. You get all the hiccups out of the way. So for when it's go time, it's, you've been there, done that.
Always a pleasure. Great stuff. Matt Patterson has been our guest. Coach, I appreciate you so much, and good luck tomorrow night.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, we're going to break in here. When we come back more, we get those phone lines going again. This is the Thom Abraham Show, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Hey there, folks. Bob Baumhauer here. We're celebrating 40 legendary years here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. And to kick this off, we're coming in hot with our all-new Alabama Hot Chicken. Fresh southern fried chicken breast smothered in a blend of tangy, immune-boosting herbs and spices with a spicy finish. Served up with a side of homemade smoked Gouda cheese grits, Miss Mary southern greens, and garlic bread. And there's plenty more where that came from. Stop in today and celebrate with us. Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Legendary fun, legendary food.
Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
The Braves are making a push to a fifth straight division title, and Atlanta's young talent is answering the call.
And he sends another drive to left. This might be a grand salami. It's gone. Home run.
Tonight, the National League battles roll on from Truist Park in Atlanta as Michael Harris and the Braves square up with the Colorado Rockies. Braves radio's on the air at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
Do you know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in, trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed a 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan Spartman, hope to see you soon.
Hi, this is Wes Neighbors. I'm here with Sam Fleming with Fleming Roofing and Restoration. Sam, tell the folks about Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Hey Wes, our company Fleming Roofing and Restoration specializes in commercial and residential roofing and repairs. I'm a fifth-generation Huntsvillian, and our family's been doing construction business in Huntsville area since 1965.
Sam, what kind of roofs does Fleming Roofing and Restoration do?
Our guys are skilled enough. We can come out and address any kind of leaks or issues you might have on your commercial, on your metal roofing, on your shingles. We can do anything, and we can offer you a solution to repair it, or we can replace it.
Well, you guys also do insurance restoration.
Our staff has 10-plus years of experience as insurance adjusters, and we really do know the inside and out of the claims process at Fleming Roofing and Restoration.
Check out Fleming Roofing and Restoration online at FlemingHSV.com, or you can call or text them at 256-651-9440.
Hey, Wes, we show up.
I try to save money when I can, but lately, I've been stretching my dollars so much, I'm getting a cramp. That's why I'm glad I went to Kohl's for great back-to-school deals, like kids' clothes for under $7, sheets for just $9.99, and the cutest jeans for under $20. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash. So, when times are tight, get to Kohl's. Select styles ends August 21st. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. A beautiful Thursday afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Plenty of sunshine, little in the way of any cloud cover, and we're definitely not talking about any rain for your Thursday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s, dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
As the Atlanta Braves battle for another postseason run.
Throw comes in, and it got him! Oh, my goodness, what a throw!
It's also the start of football season. We've got you covered right here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Segment of the Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Valley Equipment Rental with their 2 locations to serve you best. It's Valley Equipment Rental. And don't forget, if you get your equipment and pick it up after 2 o'clock tomorrow, you have it all the way until Monday, so you can get a lot of work done this week. Wait a minute. Monday's Labor Day. They're not going to be open Monday. If you get your equipment Friday afternoon or first thing Saturday morning, you got it till Tuesday, which is good because there's no NFL on Sunday yet. And there's only one college football game Sunday, Sunday night. And then Monday, there's only one college football game, and that's Monday night. So, Valley Equipment Rental. It's a time to get those last-minute jobs done heading into fall as well. Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations north of Winchester Road on the left as you're heading north out onto North Parkway. It's spectacular. It just comes out of nowhere. It's beautiful. And then, of course, the original location on the South Parkway by Drake. All right, phone lines are open if you want to jump in, 256-576-4977. Grizz, as we opened that segment with Matt Patterson, of course, we played a Buckhorn fight song, which is the Notre Dame fight song.
Correct.
I'm melancholy about this. I don't know how I feel about this.
I'll stop playing it then.
No. It's their fight song.
Yeah.
What I'm melancholy about is this. Schools using very familiar college fight songs as their high school fight song. What did you say yours was?
It's Tiger Rag, Clemson's.
Clemson's?
Yeah.
See, at my high school, Bishop Kearney High School in Rochester, New York, in the glory days when they had 2,000 students, in my high school, we had our own fight song. I forget what it was. But we had our own fight song. We had our song. And it wasn't some colleges. We weren't playing Syracuse's fight song. And here we are in Alabama. Look, I'm not biting the hand that feeds. I've grown to love the people at Buckhorn. Does anybody in the state of Alabama use the Crimson Tide fight song? Yay, Alabama? I'm sure there are, but that must piss off the Auburn people. Are there people that use the Auburn fight song? Is there anybody using the Tennessee Vols?
I could be wrong, but I think Hazel Green uses Auburn's, or they have like a variation of Auburn's. But it sounded like it when I heard it. I can't remember now last Friday if I heard it or not. But it did sound like Auburn's a little bit, so I thought.
Don't a lot of people in Alabama dislike Notre Dame?
I would think.
To be using the Notre Dame fight song?
Well, it's like how the school originally got built and. Probably the first principal or whatever was a fan of so-and-so, and because I know...
There's a school in Ohio that uses the Michigan Hail
Yeah,
to
that's
the
dumb.
victors.
You can't do that.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
Could you use Rocky Top in Alabama? Could somebody use Rocky Top? Come on. And speaking of the Notre Dame fight song, by the way, I don't know if you caught this earlier this summer. They changed the last line of the Notre Dame Victory March, which has been being played since 1908.
Trying to be PC? Is there something PC about it?
Yeah. It used to say the last line from 1908 for 115 years. The last line was, "While her loyal sons are marching onward to victory." That's the last line, all right? While her loyal sons are marching onward to victory. That was the song. That was the last line of the song for 100 years. Now, they changed it this past summer. While her loyal sons and daughters march on to victory.
I didn't know that there were females playing on the team.
Thank you. But apparently it goes for all of their sports.
It makes sense,
They
yeah.
admitted women starting in 1972, and this is the 50th anniversary of Title IX. So they changed the final line from "While her loyal sons are marching onward to victory" to "While her loyal sons and daughters march on to victory." Caller number 3 plays Beat the Big Dog next. 256-576-4977. Caller number 3.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
Great food and the best live entertainment is what it's all about at the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill. Head to downtown Huntsville every Tuesday for karaoke on the only outdoor karaoke stage in North Alabama. Thursday night is the Valley's longest running and biggest bike night. Food and drink specials, giveaways, and live music on the patio. And the Furniture Factory menu is fully loaded with options from steaks to salads, plus a whole lot more. Featuring a weekday happy hour that starts at 3. 619 Meridian Street, downtown Huntsville, and online at FurnitureFactoryBarGrill.com.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Another mega deal for an NFL quarterback. This time, it's Russell Wilson. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports he and the Broncos have reached an agreement on a 5-year, $245 million contract extension, includes $165 million guaranteed. It's the third most lucrative contract in league history in terms of guaranteed money, trailing only the $230 million the Browns guaranteed quarterback Deshaun Watson and Cardinals QB Kyler Murray's $189.5 million. The 33-year-old Wilson under contract with Denver for 7 years, $296 million. Buccaneers placed starting center Ryan Jensen on IR and re-signed veteran safety Logan Ryan. The Bucs expect Jensen to miss some significant time with a knee injury on IR. By being on IR, he's out at least the first 4 games. Week 1 of the college football season tonight. Pitt in West Virginia, 7 Eastern, ESPN TV.
Hi, this is Chris Stewart. The quest for a 19th championship starts this fall. Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Braves and Rockies tonight. Atlanta money line at -378. Colorado at +315. 8 the over-under. College football, top-ranked Alabama beginning the season at home Saturday night against Utah State. The Crimson Tide a 41.5-point home favorite. Elsewhere, Auburn hosting Mercer. Other big SEC games, third-ranked Georgia -17 against 11th-ranked Oregon in Atlanta, and 19th-ranked Arkansas -6.5 at home against 23rd-ranked Cincinnati. NFL underway in a week. The Falcons and Saints kicking off the season next Sunday afternoon in Atlanta. New Orleans -5.5 on the road. The over-under at 42.5. Red Hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com.
I'm Trey Westerberg, 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A beautiful Thursday afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Plenty of sunshine, little in the way of any cloud cover, and we're definitely not talking about any rain for your Thursday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s, dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From Coleman to Fayetteville and all points in between.
Son, pull the hammer back. Smokey's coming at you in a plain white wrapper.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog.
Let's go, baby!
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And this segment of the show is brought to you by our friends at BetUS.com. That's right, at BetUS.com. Right now, you can enjoy an incredible $200 signing bonus, up to 200% signing bonus at BetUS as they return for their 28th year of NFL action. And look, BetUS offers their members the chance to cash in on all your favorite sports. You can sign up at BetUS.com. That's BetUS.com. When you do sign up, you use the promo code WZZN. All right, when you sign up, use the promo code WZZN. All right, it's time now for the BetUS.com Beat the Big Dog. And by the way, Brandon says, I'd love to play Beat the Big Dog sometime, but the prizes are always local prizes, not for Beat the Big Dog. Remember, Beat the Big Dog. If you beat me, I'm generally giving you, usually, and it probably will be again, bowl game tickets. All right, it could be the Music City Bowl or the Birmingham Bowl. I've been to Music City Bowl for years. Might be one or the other. Or Talladega tickets, right, leading up to the race in October. So if you are able to beat me, and Brandon, I know you're listening in Georgia, but Brandon travels to games all the time. So you could win tickets to the Music City Bowl, and see Tennessee or Auburn play this year, maybe. Music City Bowl's actually moved up quite a bit in the pecking order, in terms of where they're at. They're just outside of you have the Big Six, New Year's Six, and then they're in the next six, and they rotate along that. All right. This is very interesting. You're not going to believe who got in to play Beat the Big Dog.
There are rules to success, my friend. Rule number one is know what you know what you don't know, and know that I got to know everything you know as soon as you know it.
Yeah, how about Sooner Rick getting in? He called earlier, he circled back, and he was caller number 3. So he got in for a little Beat the Big Dog action. Just don't want you to be a lemon. Don't be a lemon.
Rude, but you're a lemon.
Don't be a lemon. We don't want you to be a lemon. Don't be a lemon. All right, Sooner Rick, I told you we'd let you come back in, and when we did, how are you, man?
Oh, man, doing pretty good. Couldn't believe I got back in. Now I just need to know exactly what I got to do to try to get you.
Well, it's this easy, okay? Now we have 6 games, obviously all college games this weekend. And before you make your pick, you get to hear the opinion of Grizz, all right? And so that we don't pick the same winners on all of them, we'll alternate who picks first. So the question is, do you want to pick first on the first game or do you want to pick first on the second game?
But I don't know who the first game is yet.
I know you don't know. You're not going to know until I tell you. I'm going to tell you what it is here in a second. So you want to pick first on this first game or you want to pick first on the second game?
I'll pick first.
Okay, you're going to pick first on the first game. So first, you're going to hear Grizz's opinion. So before you make your pick, You'll hear Grizz's opinion. Then you make your pick, and then I'll make my pick, and then we'll reverse the order in game number 2. Okay. All right, here we go. Our first game, Grizz, we're going to start with tonight.
Yes.
Penn State. I know it's not the game you want to watch, but Penn State is a 3.5-point favorite at Purdue. Penn State minus 3.5 at Purdue. What do you think, Grizz?
I like what you're saying. Purdue's bringing everybody back. It's at home, right? It's at Purdue.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know if I can go against your James Franklin guy. I don't know if I can do that or not. But I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going Purdue at home.
All right. He says Purdue. Rick, what do you think? Penn State minus 3.5 at Purdue.
Well, those Boilermakers, they are an upset team all the time. But I am actually going to pick Penn State today.
All right, so he's going to take Penn State. I am pulling for Penn State in a big way, but I like to beat the listeners and beat the big dog. So I am going to take Purdue. I will take the points at home. Home points. I'm taking Purdue here to what I hope is Penn State wins by 3, and I win the game by the hook because it's 3.5 is the line here. All right, in the next game, I'll pick first, and then you hear Grizz's pick, and then you make your pick last. All right, so in our next game, Grizz, Cincinnati is getting 6.5 at Arkansas. Let me tell you something. Cincinnati, they've got to replace a quarterback and a top running back. I think Arkansas is poised for a big year. It's at Arkansas. I think Arkansas is going to beat the brakes off of Cincinnati. I say go Sam Pittman, go Hogs. I'll take Cincinnati, or I'll take Arkansas, and I will lay the 6.5. What do you think, Chris?
I'm totally agreeing with you. I think Arkansas is really, really good. I think Cincinnati lost a lot, so you kind of hope what are they going to do the next year? I like the points. I think Arkansas might beat them by 10, 14 points.
All right. So what do you think, Rick? We're both liking the Hogs here.
Well, I guess if you picked Arkansas, I have to go with Cincinnati.
No. You can pick the same as us. I mean, you don't go against. Oh. You got to get them right. I mean, that's the bigger thing. We won't have the same picks all the way through because we're alternating, so we won't have the same pick all the time.
I got you. Well, so yeah, I'm picking Arkansas as well. I picked that in my other football thing that I do, so I'm definitely picking Arkansas.
All right, so you got the Hogs. So we're all in agreement on that one on the Hogs. All right, Grizz, in this one. This game will be played in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I still want to call it the Georgia Dome. The Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Oregon gets 17.5 against Georgia at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. What do you think?
Man, I'm gonna have to take Oregon. I still don't even know who the quarterback is at Oregon, to be honest with you.
His name is Bo.
Is he gonna be the starter?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Well, Bo Nix coming in to Atlanta. I think I don't know if Oregon wins the game. I think Georgia wins the game, but 17.5 seems like a lot when we're talking about another team. Again, can Kirby Smart get guys in the right position? You got the veteran quarterback, but you lost a whole lot too. I know you got some good skill position guys, but I don't know. Neutral site game. Not really, but
40 miles from Athens.
Right. I would take
4,000 miles from Oregon.
I'll take Oregon in the points.
All right, Rick. He says Oregon in the points. Oregon gets 17.5 in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium against Mercedes-Benz Stadium against Georgia. What do you got?
I'm picking Oregon as well.
All right, I'm going to go against you guys. All right, I'm going to put my SEC honk hat back on here and say that Georgia. I think this game will be close through the first half, but I think Georgia just physically wears them down in the second half and just kind of squeezes the life out of those Ducks. And by the time it's all said and done, I think that Georgia has pulled away and put a pretty good beat down on there. So I'm taking the UGA. All right, in our next game, I'm picking first on this one. Utah is a 2.5-point favorite in Gainesville against the Florida Gators. I'm not buying it, man. I am such a SEC honk. Utah comes in. They're a trendy pick to be a Final Four team and all of that kind of stuff. By God, I'm taking the AR. Oh, wait a minute. Does he call himself AR-15 anymore? Or he doesn't do the AR-15 logo, but he's still AR-15. I'm taking Anthony Richardson and the Florida Gators to win this game. And if they win this game, they're not going to win it by 1. They're going to win it by 7 or 10 or something like that. I'll take the Gators, and I'll take the 2.5 at home What do you think, Grizz? Florida getting 2.5 at home against Utah.
I'm right there with you. Obviously, it being in Gainesville is the reason why it's like a 2.5 3-point swing. So I'm gonna take.
What do you mean? Utah is the favorite in
Well,
Gainesville.
no, that's what I mean. But the thing is, it's how close it is. You see what I'm saying? Like if Utah's really this great team and Billy Napier's taking over a dismal Florida team,
right.
You know what I mean? Shouldn't it be a little higher than that? Maybe 5.5, 6, maybe if Utah's
middle
this
of the country,
good.
Maybe it's 5.5. And a neutral site, it'd be 5.5, 6.
But at
because
Florida,
it's at Florida,
I'm going to take Florida in the points. Yeah, Billy Napier gets his first win, against a ranked opponent.
All right. What do you think, Sooner, Rick? You can get 2.5 points with Florida, or are you laying 2.5 with Utah?
I'm going with Florida.
All right, so we're on the same side of that pick as well. All right, so our next game, you guys are first on this one. All right, Grizz, give them some help with this. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who used the Buckhorn fight song. Did you notice that? They used the Buckhorn fight song for their fight song. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they get 17.5 at Ohio State. What say ye?
Man, I like a lot of the points. I just don't know. I think C.J. Stroud's really good. I think they got a great running game from OSU. It's at home. Man, I would love to take Notre Dame in the points, but I'm going to take OSU in this one. I'm going to take Ohio State.
All right, what do you think, Sooner, Rick? He's taking Ohio State, laying 17.5 to Notre Dame.
Well, I heard you talking about people in Alabama not caring for Notre Dame, but I've never liked Notre Dame my whole life.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid. But I'm actually picking Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm with you, by the way, on this. That's a lot of points, man. Backdoor covers alive there, 17.5. Ohio State's up by 20 late in the game. Notre Dame chips one in. But I think, actually, Notre Dame's going to play them pretty tight. I think they're going to play them pretty tight. Ohio State sometimes has some early season, sputters. And we've seen that before. We've seen people go into the horseshoe and play them tough. I think Notre Dame goes in there and plays them tough. I'll take the 17.5 points. I won't be surprised if this ends up being a single-score game. And I'll take the Irish on that one as well. All right, last game. You guys are first on this one. Grizz, this one is Sunday night in New Orleans. What do they call that dome now? That's not the Mercedes-Benz. It's not the Mercedes Dome anymore because they got the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. They call it something else now. It's something else. It's whatever they call it. What do they call it now?
I knew it was some betting thing. It's Caesars.
Caesars. It should be the BetUS.com dome, but it's not. It's the Caesars Dome.
Superdome.
Caesars Superdome. All right, Grizz. Florida State gets 3.5 against LSU in the BetUS.com bowl dome. What do you think?
Oh man,
wait a minute. Am I first on this one?
What? Yeah, no, you're first. Yeah, you're first. You're first. I went
first on this one. I'm sorry. I'm first on this one. All right, so I will. I'm not buying LSU. I'm just not buying them here. 3.5. The hook could be the killer. I'm not buying FSU either. I'll take the Bengal Tigers because it's like a home game for them. I'll take LSU on that, or on this game. I got LSU. All right, Grizz. Now Florida State plus 6.5, or plus 3.5, I should say, plus 3.5 at LSU in New Orleans. What do you got?
Even after what FSU did last week with 300-yard rushers and all that offense, are you kidding me? You're not going to go FSU on this one? No, I'm going the hillbilly himself, LSU. I'm gonna take the hillbilly and LSU.
The
great hillbilly Southerner from Connecticut.
Yeah,
and LSU Tigers.
All right. So what do you think, Sooner, Rick? I'm on LSU. I don't like it. I'm on LSU. Grizz is taking LSU as well. If you like LSU, you lay 3.5 to Florida State.
Well, as I'd like to pick Florida State because I'd like to see them start winning again, but I'm actually going with Louisiana myself. Just playing at home, and Florida State just ain't been playing worth crap over the last few years. So I'm definitely picking LSU.
All right, so in summation, I have Purdue, and I am getting 3.5 at home. You have Penn State. We both like the Hogs laying 6.5 to Cincinnati. I have Georgia laying 17.5. You have Oregon. We both like the Gators getting 2.5 at home. We both like Notre Dame getting 17.5 at Ohio State. And we both like LSU laying 3.5 to Florida State. All right, good luck, Sooner Rick. We'll see how this goes.
All right, man. What's they just contact me?
You just tune into the show on Monday. You'll know how you did. That's for sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the chances are you're not going to beat me. I mean, come on. I mean, I'm a professional at this. You know what I mean? All right, man.
Hopefully you got my link and check that out.
I did.
If you're interested. All right, yeah.
I got
if you're interested, definitely sign up and make your picks by Saturday morning by 10 o'clock.
All right, man. I got it in.
All right.
All right. Appreciate you.
Bye.
Yeah, I feel bad about that that OSU pick. I picked Notre Dame in another situation,
I don't like that pick. Yeah.
Beat the big dog. I went a little different than you. I mean, I kind of copied a few of yours.
I don't like the pick. I don't like the LSU pick. And the thing is, I'll be pulling for Florida State in that game. I'll pull for Florida State in that game. I don't like that pick. But, of all of those picks, I'll be honest with you, I think the one that I like the best out of all of those picks, I like the Hogs the best. Actually, I think Arkansas. I think Arkansas minus the 6.5 at home against Cincinnati is my favorite pick out of all of those.
It's like the only one that you're not really confused on when you pick it because, if you look at Notre Dame, you got a new head coach at OSU. I mean, LSU new head coach. I get that. FSU has been, dismal to mediocre, just absolutely awful. But coming off, I get it. They were playing Duquesne. And, they had 3 100-yard rushers. But it just seems like Arkansas is a more veteran team. They got the experienced quarterback since he's losing so much. The Florida-Utah pick is a little it's because of how close it is and because it's at home. It just seems like, Florida's the right choice. It is a dicey pick.
That's a dicey pick because Utah is really good. And they're bringing back all of their people. This is a conference thing. That's what that is. That's a conference pick.
Just
that's
pick SEC or somebody else. That should be beat the big dog.
That's like, hey, you know what? You're coming in here with the best team out of the Pac-12, Pac whatever the hell they're going to be now. You're coming in here with the best team, and you're playing a middle-of-the-pack SEC team. I'll take the SEC. Take the SEC.
What if it was Ole Miss?
If Utah, they would be a bigger favorite.
Oh, yeah.
If they were playing Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss?
Yeah.
If they were playing at Ole Miss and I was getting 4 or 5, I'd take Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I'd take Ole Miss. I have a hard time going against the SEC. It's just, a hard time.
I did with Georgia, but I just don't know because look how, I get it was Clemson and how, Clemson really bounced back after that loss, but it was only like a 7-point score and their offense and defense
was a lot better than Oregon.
Right, but it just seemed like the Georgia team wasn't ready. Like, it just didn't seem like they were that Georgia team that went on to, be dominant, which, we can say what we say about the national championship game if certain players weren't, injured, but
they're still going to be really good defensively.
Yeah. I just feel like they lost a lot on defense, and it's like, can Kirby Smart do the same thing that, Nick Saban's been able to do for so many years? It's like, it seems like a lot of other coaches are kind of, it's hard for them to do that. It's hard for them to have, look at Clemson. Clemson lost all those defensive linemen, and then they haven't been there. They haven't been.
Well, they still play really good defense. Clemson's problem was the quarterback ukulele there. He wasn't worth a flip. That was their problem.
Probably that Dr. Pepper
good defense.
Probably that Dr. Pepper endorsement.
Drinking too much Dr. Pepper with his NIL stuff instead of getting in his playbook.
I'm worried about Bryce. Hopefully Bryce has got I'm sure Bryce is okay.
Bryce will be fine.
I'm sure Bryce will be fine. Got that
Dr. Pepper. Let's get a break. When we come back, Steve Merrill, let's see what he thinks about these games. He's coming up next right here. And listen, that 3 of these games are in Beat the Big Dog. Probably 4 of them. Not Beat the Big Dog. The Friday Trifecta. Probably 4 of these games are in the Friday Trifecta. Steve Merrill's next. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Listen up, sports fans. Your favorite sportsbook, BetUS.com, is back for our 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers our members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite sports, including NFL, NBA, MLB, and more. We've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest new European slots, and our live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com or call 1-800-99-BET-US and get into the action. BetUS.
Project Development. Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
When you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get great savings and round-the-clock protection, which is as beautiful as looking your firstborn child in the eyes for the first time. Well, that's a bit much. Maybe it's more like looking your second-born child in the eyes for like the third or fourth time. Point being, the savings and round-the-clock protection are really, really magical.
Forced Metaphors, presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves, if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
This is Wes Neighbors talking to Chris Haygood of Bob Wallace Appliance. Chris, what sets you apart from other appliance dealerships?
Wes, these appliances are going into the most used room in your house, your kitchen. The way we have these appliances displayed, it's easy for you to visualize how they'll look in your home. Wes, what sets us apart is the people. They're well trained. In fact, they live and breathe these appliances. And if you need service, you'll really appreciate our parts department.
Contact Bob Wallace Appliance at 256-533-2121.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm and the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN.
Hold your block until the whistle blows.
From SEC Media Days to the National Championship game.
This was a great team win.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Second one, Tom Abraham Show is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford. For all of your service needs, the only answer is Woody Anderson Ford. Regardless of what kind of vehicle you're driving, they can take care of you at Woody Anderson Ford. Don't forget the certified gold pre-owned vehicles, too, with Woody Anderson Ford. Now, they move quickly, so you want to go to WoodyAndersonFord.com and see what's on there. That's how we found my wife's Mustang, all right, was to just, kind of check in every few days and seeing what they had on there, convertible Mustangs, and boom, there it was. And within days, we had that thing in our driveway. All right, so check it out. Now, they have a huge selection of pickup trucks always. F-150s, F-250s, they got it. It is the truck that gets the work done around the Tennessee Valley, so you can check that out as well. Just go to WoodyAndersonFord.com, check that out in that service department. There's a reason why Bobby White starts every day in the service department, because he knows that's where their bread is buttered, is that service department. It's not just about selling you a vehicle. It's about taking care of that vehicle, and so that you can then trade it in on the next vehicle, and you get the maximum amount of value for it. All right, joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, guy that does a tremendous job at ProSportsInfo.com, Steve Merrill is with us. Steve, welcome back. How are you?
Hey, Tom, doing well.
Well, here we are, a full slate of college football this weekend, and we've had some questions about some games throughout the week that I promised listeners that I would ask you about just to kind of get your take on it that were a little bit surprising. So I'll just give you a couple off the cuff here. One of which is that Mississippi State-Memphis game, where Mississippi State is like a 16 and a half, 17-point favorite at home against Memphis. Now, I haven't broke this game down specifically. All I know is that I don't trust the Pirate myself, and it just seems odd that Mississippi State would be laying that kind of wood against anybody. But any thoughts about this Mississippi State-Memphis game at 16 and a half, 17?
Well, we talked about that Vanderbilt-Hawaii game last week, and that was a Vanderbilt team that, had not had a good season. They lost 23-3 as a favorite against a FCS team to start last season. But as I mentioned, I thought it might be a situation where they don't overlook a weaker opponent, especially with the tough SEC schedule coming up. And I think you always have to be careful going against these powerhouse teams. They're big favorites for a reason, and historically, I usually look to play big favorites in week one because the mismatches usually pan out. I mean, these teams both have a full month to prepare, and that means that, there's really not a look ahead to the next week. So I think, SEC powerhouse team like this against a non-power five, it's tough to fade, and that's why they are a big favorite.
The other one that is we've been kind of talking about all week long, a listener called on this one, and a listener from Georgia called on it, and I was like, no, that's not the line, but it is the line. Why is Appy State favored over North Carolina Tar Heels? Well, what is up with that? It's like a pick 'em, or it's 1 point, 1.5, and I know it's at Appy State, and it's a little stadium up there, 30,000 seat stadium, and all that kind of stuff. And I know North Carolina has lost some of their big names, but I mean North Carolina is getting points at Appalachian State. What am I missing here?
Yeah, I think back-to-back on, 2014, they got blown out by Michigan, but keep in mind a few years before that, they'd beaten Michigan outright as a 4-touchdown dog. So Appalachian State's always kind of had that allure with both bettors and the odds makers, and this is a team that was 10-4 last year. They were 13-1 the year before COVID. They've gone 19-7 since. So you do feel like maybe of all the little mid-major teams that Appalachian State sometimes is a little overvalued, and this is a strange line here. I mean, North Carolina, extremely inexperienced on offense. They returned just 5 starters, but more importantly, they ranked just 115th experience on offense. But they are 25th experienced defense, where App State is 104.
Yeah.
So North Carolina holds a pretty substantial defensive edge in this game, and that could lead it to the under here. If they're able to cover, it's going to probably be a lower scoring game.
And if there was any thought that the Tar Heels would be overlooking this game or for whatever reason, those kids know the line. They know that. They're like, what? We're that what? We're the ACC. They're favored over us. App State, they weren't even into Division 1A a couple of years ago, and now here they are, and they're favored over us. I mean, I think it gets their attention. I really do, and I think they're going to get their best game. We'll see what happens there. All right, here's another one. This is my pick of the week, personally, but I don't want to tell you what my thought is before I hear what your thought is on it. Arkansas is laying 6.5 at home to Cincinnati. What do you think about Cincinnati, a Final Four team last year, getting 6.5 at the Hogs?
Yeah, I mean, I think Cincinnati's going to be an interesting team to keep an eye on this year. Obviously they've been a power, team not from, I guess you want to say the Power Five, however you want to phrase it. This has been the team to beat. They've been kind of the sleeper team that could sneak into the playoff picture and disrupt the status quo. Fickle's still there. It's his sixth season as head coach. This is a team that went 13-1 last year. They're 22-2 the last two seasons. They've lost a lot on defense, though. They only have 5 returning starters, and they're 115th in defensive experience. So I think that's going to be their weakness out of the gate here, and that's some of the concern you've got. But this should still be a pretty good offensive team, and they should be able to put up some points against Arkansas. I think the over could be worth a look here for that reason. Arkansas also more experienced in offense than defense, 66th offense, but just 93rd on defense. So I do think both offenses hold the edge in this game, and the over actually might be the best way to play it.
Cincinnati's got to replace their quarterback in Desmond Ridder, their top running back in Jerome Ford. I think Arkansas is going to stomp a mud hole in them. I really do. I mean, they got a veteran quarterback. I really like Arkansas in that game. All right, this one. Again, like a little bit like the Appy State North Carolina game, it was a line that made me say, wait, what? Notre Dame is getting 17.5. I thought they're number 5 in the country. They're getting 17. When you get a game number 2 and number 5, it's supposed to be like a 4 or 5 point game. 17.5 for the Domers at Ohio State. What do you think?
Yeah, it's actually not high enough. My power ratings make it 20. So, it just shows once again why the rankings are just so silly. And the same thing, by the way, with the Georgia-Oregon game, right? I mean, you've got 2.5 touchdowns in that game as well, and that's supposed to be the other, spotlight competitive game this week. So, yeah, we have to tread lightly. I mean, I make the line 20, so I actually think there's still some value with Ohio State, even though it opened as low as 14 over the summer. This line's gone from 14 up to 17 since May. But I still don't think it's high enough, and I think Ohio State very well could be the best team in the country right now. And the thing about this is they put up 40, 50 points almost every game. Now, obviously, Notre Dame's going to be a defensive test for them. But, yeah, I actually don't think that line is high enough, and Ohio State would be the only way I'd play it.
So you mentioned both of those games. Now, see, Georgia, I could see squeezing the life out of Oregon by the second half. I think that's like a close game going into the second half, and then Georgia just kind of squeezes them out and covers, not the backdoor cover, but a front door cover in that one, where they kind of pull away and win that game by 20, 24 points. But that's still a lot of points. 17.5 is a big number for both of those games. And that's a key number, right?
Yeah, 17 and 18 is somewhat key also. And the Oregon game's gone from 16 up to, that range, crossing some key numbers as well. My power ratings make the line around 19. I still don't think it's too high. And I would agree, it's hard to fade Georgia, which is a semi-home game, obviously, Mercedes-Benz. I mean, I think we all agree they're going to have the home field advantage, even though it's technically not a home game. And the big question mark here for me, which makes this a tricky handicap and also kind of an interesting handicap, is, of course, Lenny, the defensive coordinator, is now the head coach of Oregon. They've also got Bo Nix at the quarterback roster, so they've got guys that are familiar with Georgia, but they've also, Georgia's also familiar with them. So it's always that chicken and egg scenario, who has the advantage. Georgia lost a lot to the NFL, but they're one of those few programs that just kind of reloads. They don't have to rebuild. With that said, though, they lost a lot on defense in particular. So I do think the D will be a little bit weaker, but then again, a little bit weaker is not saying much because it's one of the best defenses in history last year. I do think this game will be a little higher scoring, though, than that 10-3 opener we saw against Clemson last year.
Steve Merrill, ProSportsInfo.com with us here. All right, what is the value of playing a game? Florida State, now, of course, they played Duquesne, but they did play a game, had 3 rushers that went over 100 yards in that game. A lot of pressure there on Mike Norvell to get this thing right. LSU has Brian Kelly coming in there with his southern accent, breaking in a new quarterback, even though he doesn't want to tell us who the quarterback is. Florida State gets 3.5. That's got to be strictly because it's at the Caesars Dome there and Superdome in New Orleans, which is obviously only about 80 miles or so from Baton Rouge. But it's not that far from Tallahassee either, so I don't know how much of a home field that is. But what about Florida State getting some points against this new LSU team?
Yeah, I think Florida State's catching LSU at the right time. I mean, not only do they have a game under their belt, I'm not going to read too much into a bad FCS team, Duquesne, but coming into the season, Florida State ranked as the second most experienced defense in the country in the FBS level. LSU only the 96th most experienced offense. And as you mentioned, new quarterback, new head coach, new schemes, no game yet. So this is a great spot for Florida State to catch LSU, and I do think they'll travel well. So I'm not going to give LSU too much of a home field, even though it's closer to their campus. So a lot of things kind of set up well for Florida State to maybe surprise here. The key is going to be that defense if they can contain LSU, and if LSU is not quite on track yet.
I hate my pick in this, and beat the big dog. I took LSU. I hate my pick on that game. All right, and then finally the this is a conference deal. This is one that's about conferences, and I don't know how you handicap conferences versus the game itself, whether you just throw the conference out altogether. But Utah, a lot of people are talking about Utah being a Final Four team. And here they come from the Pac-12, going to come all the way across the country from the mountains of Utah to the swamp of Florida and play this game in Gainesville. It's the top team out of the Pac-12 against a middling team in the SEC, maybe even a lot less than a middling team in the SEC, but they are the Florida by God Gators, and they got a new coach there, and they've got an experienced quarterback now in Anthony Richardson. Utah's a 2.5-point favorite in the swamp. Never get points in the swamp, especially against non-conference foes. What do you think?
Yeah, I see a lot of threes out there. Obviously, 3 is a very key number. This line current 2.5 to 3. By the way, my power ratings favor Utah by exactly 2.5. So I do think the line is pretty much spot on. I'm with you, though. You're always a little leery to lay against an SEC non-conference home underdog. I would just say they don't have the numbers in front of me, but I would guess they've probably won more than they've lost over the years. So this is an interesting spot for Utah. Well, one thing I will say about Utah is, as you said, they're kind of that sleeper team like Cincinnati we talked about earlier. And one thing these teams have to do is they have to make statements and win by margin. Obviously, just winning this game would be a statement, but you look at their schedule going forward, Southern Utah next week, not much. But then like San Diego State at home, this is a team that Utah is going to have a reason to run up the score whenever possible. So it's going to be tough to fade them as a favorite in that situation. Now, I'm not sure they're going to be able to run the score up against Florida. They might not even win this game, obviously, but it's something to keep in mind with Utah going forward is that kind of on the outside looking into that national title playoff contender, they do have incentive to win by margin, and obviously this would be a spotlight game for them against Florida. Florida, like a lot of teams we've talked about today, inexperienced at defense, just 99th most experienced defense coming in. But Utah is actually the 88th most experienced defense. They also lost a lot, so could maybe have a little bit of a sneaky over here as both offenses, I think, hold the edge.
We're not really talking about Alabama, Utah State. Utah State's not the cupcakiest of cupcakes. I mean, it's not like an FCS. It's not Mercer, okay? Auburn playing Mercer, Alabama playing Utah State. They're both huge favorites in those games. What would your advice be to our listeners, though, in these kind of games where the spread is 40, 42, 45, 39, these crazy type cupcake games?
Well, my advice in general is probably to lay it or don't play it. For the most part, I don't like taking teams I think have no chance of winning because then you're just hoping for them to get the backdoor cover or to hang. And the problem is Alabama's backups are better than any starter Utah State's going to have on the field. So Alabama can continue to run up the score if they want to. I don't think they necessarily need to, though. They do have a look ahead at Texas next week. You got to figure they're not going to show everything for that reason. So once again, I only like to play the big favorites in these spots, but I do have concern Alabama might take their foot off the gas with a game next week at Texas. And then on top of that, Utah State did play last week against a bad Connecticut team, so they do have a game under their belt. A very inexperienced defense, though. Utah State ranks 119th on defense experience. So once again, really a game that's tough to call.
All right. Tell folks how they can take advantage. Are you doing anything, a wager talk that is college football oriented, that's or college and NFL oriented? I know you do the baseball show and do some other stuff as well.
Yeah, I actually got the baseball show at 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 Central today, and then I will have the college football game show following that at 2 o'clock Central on Wager Talk TV. And, of course, it's archived 24/7. You can watch it anytime you'd like on YouTube at Wager Talk, wagertalk.com. And also don't forget about the new Wager Talk TV app. You can download it on any of your favorite devices and watch the college football and baseball shows anytime you'd like. And I will have a top 25 college football video every Saturday, Friday night into Saturday, starting this weekend, where I preview in-depth all those big top 25 games. So a little more talk on Notre Dame, Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, etc. All of that at wagertalk.com. And as always, if you'd like a free play, email me, mention that you heard the show today, steve@prosportsinfo.com. I'll give you a free college best bet for this weekend. Just mention the show and email me, steve@prosportsinfo.com.
All right, Steve, I appreciate you. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Tom.
By the way, Sooner Rick made a good point. He sent me an email. He said, wait a minute, you said to listen to show Monday to get the results. Are you having a show Monday? No, we're not having a show Monday. I'm sorry. Tuesday. But you'll know. Grizz, you got all his info, right? Did you get his like email address and stuff?
Right,
so you got everything
for everybody.
All right.
Well,
We got all your. You'll know. You'll know sooner, Rick, whether you did it or not, whether you knocked me off or not. Like I said, don't get your hopes up. All right? I mean, I'm a professional at this. Don't get all excited and get your hopes up. Really, we only differ on 2 games. I'm banking on Purdue to be the team that I like in Penn State, or to at least stay within 3. And I'm banking on Georgia to blow out Oregon. I like his picks better now. I don't like his pick of LSU laying 3.5 against Florida State either.
I feel pretty good about his OSU pick. Not favored enough.
You're liking his
his Ohio State pick.
Well, he and I are both on Notre Dame.
Yeah.
You like?
Oh yeah, because he put like 20. Of course, he's for Notre Dame.
Who's
didn't he change it to like? Didn't he change?
No.
Notre Dame.
He said, what he are you talking about? I'm talking about the he being Rick. No, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Yes, Steve said he's for Ohio State because Steve's power ratings have Ohio State a 20-point favorite. Yeah. So it's not there yet.
That's what I meant.
It's 17.5. So, yes, Steve is on Ohio State. You're on Ohio State.
Yes.
But me and Rick and I are on Notre Dame. So we'll lose together or win together.
I don't feel good about the Georgia one, but I do feel good about the OSU one.
We'll win together and lose together on LSU. Really, the whole thing comes down to me being on Purdue and him being on Penn State and him being on Oregon and me being on Georgia. That's what the whole thing comes down to, and to beat the big dog. So we'll see. All right, we're going to break in here. When we come back, I'm going to comment on something I never comment on, but I feel like I have to comment on. Phone lines are open if you want to get in. 256-576-4977. 256-576-4977. We'll put you on the air. It's the Tom Abraham Show. 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to the Tom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Your playoff-bound Rocket City Trash Pandas continue their homestand tonight against the Biloxi Shuckers. Gates open early for a Burgers and Buds happy hour, plus the first 2,000 adults through the gates will receive a free Trash Pandas pint glass. Get your tickets now at TrashPandasBaseball.com. Trash Pandas Baseball. Have a blast. Let's rock it.
What can you expect when you shop for a firearm at Bullet & Barrel? Expect great prices. We specialize in quality over quantity. Expect great service. Our professional sales staff is never pushy. We won't talk you into something that doesn't fit your needs. You have the right to make a smart, informed decision. Expect Bullet & Barrel, Alabama's only 5-star indoor shooting range, to support you after the sale. Bullet & Barrel, 3252 Lehman Ferry Road. Like or follow us on Facebook. Come see us soon.
Waiting was such a mistake. That's one of the things we hear most after we've successfully treated one of our patients for erectile dysfunction. At the Huntsville Men's Clinic, we want you to know first and foremost that waiting is a mistake, because the longer you wait, the more difficult it can be to treat your ED. Using what you've got is important, not just for your relationship, but for your overall health. There's some truth to the phrase, if you don't use it, you lose it. At the Huntsville Men's Clinic, we'll fight for your ability to consistently perform without the anxiety that so many men experience. In fact, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. We only treat ED and low T at the Huntsville Men's Clinic, and we've successfully treated many men with protocols that are effective in nearly 90% of cases. We also have the full complement of treatments, including acoustic wave therapy, so you get the one that works best for you. So don't wait. Make an appointment. For just $99, you'll get a medical consultation, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose. Call today, 256-368-0333. That's 256-368-0333, or go to HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
Stan, I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Not looking or feeling your best? No energy for the things you like to do? Ready to look and feel younger? Make your appointment at Advanced Life Clinic, one of the region's foremost destinations for patients interested in looking and feeling their best. Specializing in advanced laser treatments and weight loss, male and female rejuvenation to offset the effects of aging, and more. See how Advanced Life Clinic can help you enjoy your life again. Call 256-882-6555 or log on advancedlifeclinic.com.
Chapman Commercial Realty, your source for Alabama commercial real estate. Chapman Commercial Realty has the experience and expertise you're looking for when making commercial real estate decisions. If it's office space, retail space, investment property, or project development, Chapman Commercial Realty is your answer. Call Bill Chapman today at 256-656-8413. That's 256-656-8413. Or find them online at chapmancommercialrealty.com.
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman. A beautiful Thursday afternoon across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee. Plenty of sunshine, little in the way of any cloud cover, and we're definitely not talking about any rain for your Thursday afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the upper 80s and lower 90s, dropping into the upper 60s and lower 70s through the overnight, early into your Friday morning. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dorton Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
4 Heisman Trophy winners, 33 Southeastern Conference championships, 18 national championships. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Brought to you by North Alabama Mortgage. North Alabama Mortgage will make sure that you are in the right product for your mortgage, and they'll get you pre-approved when you're looking for a new home. You want to be pre-approved because the chances of getting your offer accepted are much, much better when you are pre-approved. And they're going to walk you through this thing, and they're going to treat you like family the whole way. I know this from personal experience because I did my home refinance with the folks, with Brian Hammaker and his whole team there. at North Alabama Mortgage. Now, Brian and I share a lot of interests. We're both fishermen that love the fish tournaments. He's very involved in the fishing industry as well. He has been a sponsor of Bassmaster Radio now for quite a while, and also of this show. And he became a sponsor before I did my refinance. It wasn't like, okay, I did my refinance. Hey, by the way, I'm going to do it because you're a sponsor. It didn't work out that way. But they do treat you like family. They walked me through the process. The net result for us was a new kitchen and some added. I bought a lot that backs up to my lot in the back. So I bought some added room in back there as well, and paid off the guest house, which I owed a little bit of money on, So all of that because of the great deal that I got with North Alabama Mortgage. You could do the same thing. You got a lot of money locked up in your house. Got a lot of money right now locked up in your property. And you're living in an area that is undervalued, to be honest with you. I mean, North Alabama, the Tennessee Valley, this is an undervalued area. It's the number one area in the country to live, and it's undervalued. So take advantage of the value that is locked up in your home with North Alabama Mortgage. All right, Grizz, I'm going to comment on something that I don't normally comment on, but I feel the need to comment on it, even though we are now T-minus hours away from the first full weekend of college football getting started. But I feel like I can give this 2 minutes and not, get my head blown off by somebody. There is something. When was the last time I talked about a tennis tournament? When was the last time I talked to any tennis? Are you a tennis fan at all? I mean, you know what goes on.
I know what goes on. I mean, I'm not a huge fan, I guess, because they're really not. There's no one I pull for. Yeah, there's no good Americans. Yeah,
there's no Americans anymore in the tennis.
And everyone's complaining about not being able to play in the biggest moments and everything. There's no player that I can gravitate like Serena and Venus and.
Well, Serena is a story right now.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the last of the great American players, as far as we know. And something is developing into a very big story at the U.S. Open in Flushing Meadows in New York. And I'm compelled to comment on it. I need to comment on this. Serena Williams has announced her retirement at age 40. And last night she won her second match of the U.S. Open against the number 2 player in the world, who we don't even know who she is. But she...
No clue, yeah.
No clue. No clue. Not even important because it doesn't matter.
Right.
She's the number 2 player in the world. Serena doesn't play very much these days. Serena is ranked somewhere around 600th in the world. That doesn't mean that there are, 600 players in the world that are better than her. It just means she doesn't play very much.
Annette Kontavet.
Yeah, right.
I didn't even say. I don't think I said.
Yeah,
that.
her. Yeah, you're not saying it right. Anyway, so she's number 2 player in the world, and Serena beat her. Now, the narrative that we are being pounded with ad nauseum is that Serena is the GOAT, that Serena is the greatest female tennis player ever, and in fact the most dominant female athlete of all times, and maybe the most dominant athlete in any sport of all times, because that's what we do. I mean, it's always the latest that is the greatest, even if it's not. Serena Williams is on the short list of greatest women's tennis players ever. But I'm here to tell you that Steffi Graf was better. I'm going to tell you that right now. Steffi Graf only played till she was 30 years old. She won 89% of her matches to Serena's 85%. She won more total matches than Serena Williams, playing 10 fewer years. She won 900 matches, more than Serena. Steffi won 107 singles titles. 107 singles championships. Serena has won 73. Steffi Graf won 34 more championships than Serena Williams. Serena has one more Grand Slam title, 23-22 for Graf. But did I mention Steffi played 10 years fewer? She retired at 30 when she married that there DeAndre Agassi. She won 89% of her Grand Slam matches, which is just slightly better than Serena at 88%. But in every measurable, Steffi Graf was the better player than Serena Williams. But they talk about Serena Williams like she's Babe freaking Ruth. Yeah. Like what she's done is beyond what anybody has ever done. And none of that is true. And you're not hearing that.
Yeah.
I actually heard someone on a radio show yesterday say that Serena, quote unquote, Serena is the most recognizable name associated with any sport. So in other words, you take a person that's recognized in that sport. She is the most recognized name of any sport. Not MJ.
Yeah.
Not Babe. Not Brady. Not Gretzky. Serena. It's just not true.
Yeah.
It's just not true. But go ahead, ESPN. Keep telling us that she's the GOAT of GOATs.
Yeah. And Margaret Court, who has 24 single Grand Slam titles, is the most in history.
The one thing is that was previous to the Open age,
Yeah.
so maybe there's a little something there.
Well, she's the only one of 3 tennis players in history to win a Grand Slam box set. So she won singles, doubles, and mixed doubles in each of the 4 Grand Slams. I mean,
Serena is a tremendous athlete, a generational athlete, no doubt about it. But all you're hearing is that she's the greatest ever, GOAT of GOATs. No, she's not. Okay, she's just not. There you go, a tennis take. I wasn't going to do it on Football Friday. I had to get in. All right, coming up next is the Chuck Oliver Show right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.